Okay, 9:05 on 8/3. So, took a little short in pre-market here. I was looking, it was at the end of a 5-minute candle. I was looking for that next 5-minute candle to at least retrace and get us back under the volume point of control. That did not occur, so I exited with a small profit because I didn't want to hang out if it wasn't going to break below that. I expected a reaction in the other direction, which obviously we did get right up through 75, right up through that notch in the profile that had been holding us for like an hour. And since then we've come back up and tested into the previous mid and failed off of that pretty significantly. It looks like we might be heading back to retest 75 on the long side. But overall, it's just been ranging around. We've got a pretty significant inside bar on the daily. We just went up to this failure point off this recent retracement. It is also off the yesterday's volume point of control on the daily profile. So we just pulled our current VPOC up to 82. So that's kind of significant. So we'll see what happens. That puts 75 on the other side of our volume point of control. So, you know, the old story, what used to be resistance is now support. So we're looking at that area from 80 to 74 to become support now, if it decides to continue up for the longs. The CNBC News was pronouncing a recovery day after the sell-off yesterday, but yeah, whatever. It's still largely a ranging morning. Not a lot going on. So, 22 minutes to the open. See you there. It's noteworthy that in the most recent pre-market, so we're talking about like from 5 a.m. on, we retested into settlement from yesterday 3 times, couldn't really break down through it. Pretty significant notch in the profiles, that yellow line there under it. We came down and touched that to the tick, and then reacted off of it back up into what was at that time the volume point of control. Retested, once again we tested the volume point of control, retested, and now we've lifted up and we're on the other side of it. So we've also got a positive delta. So we're 1200 positive, 200, a little over 200 on the 15-minute positive. Price is basically bouncing around right near our VPOC. It is staying above it. But it's 20 minutes to the open, so it's just going to most likely range around here. I expect it to come back down, maybe retest into the 75, 76 area, and then just kind of be rotational around that volume point of control for a while. And we'll see what the open gives us. Alright, coming into the open, we've got a slight positive bias. We'll see what the daily head pick gives us. We're coming in right on the volume point of control for today. Come on, get back up through it. We bounced off that yesterday's session VWAP pretty hard, so yeah. Alright. Went up and tag that pretty much to the tick. So we came down to our RTH mid, got a reaction off it as we'd expect. We're well under our VPOC. We're looking for a breakdown to the RTH signal here eventually, but there's a lot to get through to get there. Buyers and sellers are definitely duking it out. There we go, get into that mid. Keep going. Don't get me. Ah. Just couldn't get it done. Went back and tested into settlement pretty much to the tick. That's why I brought that stop down. That could be all she wrote for a minute. Brought our volume point of control down to that level. And we start trading up above that, then longs could be back in charge. Oh, there it goes. All right. Brought our VPOC down just above mid. Came down and tagged into our yellow level there. Alright, got through it. Well, looks like we might just make it to signal after all, we'll see. 5-minute bar closes in less than a minute. We'll see where that leaves us. Thirty seconds. Back up to our mid and our VPOC. Coming back to VPOC and our session mid. And closed pretty much right on it. So that's really not a lot of information. Sellers are hitting this bar hard, but they're not making a lot of progress. Take it down into 51.5. Alright, so our 15-minute volume point of control is down below price. That gives us a lot of runway to the north side, so I'm not looking at a short here just yet. In fact, if we make our way back to our TH signal, I'll probably be looking at a long. May not get there. Buyers have stepped back in and recovered most of what sold off in this long bar down. So this is still mixed trading. Pretty much neutralized buyers and seller bias. Still positive in the long term. Retesting our mid. Sellers are stepping back in, trying to push it down. Let's get through it. Sellers hitting it. Can't quite get it done.
An hour later.
Later. Okay, short of the mid. We'll see what happens. Looks like the buyers are back. So this might just come get me. Back to the top of our value area. There's that notch in the profile there. It's trying to get past it. It's got to get back through the mid. Okay, back under 75. That's a good sign. Got to break down past the mid. There's the battle zone. Get down through it with some gusto. We're looking for signal down below. Got to get through that mid though. Mid and then settlement. And we're out. Couldn't get through the mid. Back to our upper signal. Buyers are definitely trying to exert control here. Doing a pretty damn good job. We couldn't get back through mid. Looking for a bit more of a pullback here. We'll take a long. Looking for around 83, 85, at least back to 86. I want to get tapped down just below that RTH signal. We may have missed it. Check that open for us. If it gets up to even before we get a chance to get in, we're just going to wait. It's going to be big resistance up around even money. All the way back to mid. Okay, it needs to stay above that open. That would be a good time for a breakout. Stay above that open. Come on, push through it. Okay, retesting the high. There we go. There's our hit into even. Alright, and we're out. Didn't quite get to our target. That's alright. It probably will now that we're out of it. And that is okay. Alright, so we're up 59.78 on the day. And we've got a couple of good moves. So we're going to declare victory and take our cash home.